Hello, humans, monsters, and other creatures. Savard is here, coming back with part 4 of What If Deku Had Compress. Now, where we last left off, Izuku has go back into his house after talking with All Might and Principal Nezu, as All Might was telling him that he might want to give him one for all, and also he want to meet his master, or meet Atsuhiro Saka, the one that taught Izuku his tricks. As Izuku gone back into his house, and before we get right into it, guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let's just jump right into it. As Izuku come back into the house, and after that he said, Mom, hello? As Inko said, oh, hello Izuku, welcome back. Alright, go change your clothes and come, the dinner is ready. As after that Izuku said, good. Alright, as after that Izuku just go changing his clothes and wash his face and sit to eat dinner with his mother. After that, immediately Inko said, so Izuku, how was your day? As Izuku said, it was good. Not, it was normal day. We do some sort of a quirk apprehension test and other things. As Inko said, alright, how about you tell me what's happened? As Izuku, tell Inko what's happened with him in the school, but not telling him about the one for all part because, secrets. As after that, Inko's, just talking with Izuku, and they just laugh a little bit, and in the end, Izuku go back into his room and sit down, sleeping for the night. But in the middle of the night, he taking out his phone and start calling Atsuhiro. As after that, he said, Sensei, as on the other side he heard the sound of Atsuhiro saying, Midoriya, what is it? As Izuku said, sorry for calling you so late, but I needed to tell you that All Might want to meet you. All Might want to meet me? Why exactly is that? Did you do anything wrong? As Izuku said, no, he just was wondering how where did I learn all these tricks, the magician tricks, these kind of things, and he was wondering if you could possibly come tomorrow into my house and, just for you and him to talk on some things. As after that, Atsuhiro said, alright, I mean, it's not every day that you get the chance to meet the #1 hero in person. I'll be tomorrow there morning. Or should I come and take you from your house? As Izuku said, well, how about you, come into my house tomorrow and both of us can walk there. Because, believe me, UA is more like a maze. I've been lost there for the first day. As after that, immediately Atsuhiro said, well, I would like someone to tell me where to go. Anyway, Midoriya, you should get some sleep. As after that, Izuku said, alright, thanks, Sensei. And after that, Izuku closed the phone. And on the other side, Atsuhiro, right now closing the phone too, as he said, so meeting with the #1 hero, I suppose. Interesting. As after that, he hear a sound from in front of him saying, please, I'll give you anything, just leave me. As after that, immediately, Atsuhiro putting his phone in his jacket and said, oh, don't worry, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm not a bad person. I just need to take you with me. As after that, immediately, the guy said, no, please, don't do this to me. But before he managed to run away, immediately, Mr. Compress turning him into a little marble and putting him inside his jacket and said, well, you will be useful for me later. I'm sure that a couple of you will be useful, as he just taken another couple of marbles that he kept some people inside of it too. And after that, he just put them back into his pockets and jumped on one of the buildings away. As in the next day, Izuku waking up in the morning, preparing his, school outfit and everything, as after that he hear a knock on the door. As Izuku immediately going into the door, as he see Atsuhiro, as Atsuhiro just lifting his hat up, and he said, hello, good morning, Midoriya. As after that, Izuku said, Sensei, thank you that you come very soon. Alright, should we go? As after that, immediately Atsuhiro said, alright, Miss Inko, I'm gonna take Midoriya into the school, so you should not be worried on him. As after that, Inko said, alright, just both of you make sure to not get hurt. As after that, Atsuhiro said, alright, Midoriya, let's go. And after that, Izuku and Atsuhiro start walking in the street, and some people just having some looks on Atsuhiro. I mean, he wearing some sort of a long top hat and also a yellow jacket and having a stick, just walking like a gentleman. And after that, Izuku said, don't you ever take these things off? As after that, Atsuhiro said, what do you mean? As Izuku said, I mean, don't you ever take this outfit off? Don't you think it's quite, hot or something like that? As Atsuhiro said, not at all. It's kinda complicated. It's not just a normal outfit. It's specially made for me to keep me warm in the, of course, in the winter, and to keep me, cold in the summer. It's special also to have some extra pockets so I can put my marbles in them. Remember, Midoriya, it's not all about your hands. Your hands maybe play such an important role, but you also need to wear something that will gonna be in your advantage when you do a magic trick. Did you ever ask yourself why the hell your own hero outfit have a lots of pockets when I made it? As after that, Izuku said, so that's why the pockets were a lot in my, jacket? As after that, Atsuhiro said, yeah, exactly. Do you think that I just kept them there for show? They are maybe a lot, but they are very well hidden, so nobody will gonna know that you have more than about, with your pants and your jacket, let's just say about 5 or maybe 6 pockets. As after that, Izuku said, alright, I understand. And after that, finally, after talking a little bit and just enjoying themselves in the way, forgetting that they're even going into UA, they finally come close, and Izuku and Atsuhiro just standing outside of the school as they just were about to come in, but suddenly they hear a sound from behind saying, yo, Izu bro, what's up? As Izuku looking back, he see none other than the hardening boy himself, Kirishima. As Izuku said, oh, Kirishima, hello. As Kirishima said, hello. Good morning, Izuku. It seems that you are coming on time, as usual. Who are you? As after that, Atsuhiro said, my apology, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Atsuhiro Saka, the master of Izuku. As after that, Kirishima said, Izuku, master? Do you mean teacher? As after that, Izuku said, yeah, he's my teacher. As Kirishima taking a look on Atsuhiro, looking at him very closely, as he said, are you sure this is your teacher? He kinda seemed weird. As after that, Izuku said, don't talk about him like that. Without him, I wouldn't. As before he managed to continue, Atsuhiro putting his hand on Izuku's shoulder and said, come on, Midoriya, there is no need to get angry. He's your friend, alright? As Izuku said, sorry, sensei. As after that, immediately, Kirishima said, well, if you are the master of Izuku, then I can trust you. My name is Kirishima. Nice to meet you. As Atsuhiro said, nice to meet you too, Kirishima. Either way, I'll have to leave for now. As Izuku said, but where are you going, sensei? As Izuku just seeing him start walking into UA, and after that, Atsuhiro said, just like I told you, to go meet with All Might, right? That's the main reason why I am here. As Izuku said, but you will gonna get lost, and don't worry about me, Midoriya. I will know my ways in here. As after that, Izuku said, alright. And Kirishima said, that was really your sensei, Izuku? As Izuku said, yeah, he was my master. He's the one that, teaching me the magic tricks. As Kirishima said, wait, magic tricks? As Izuku said, I mean, duh. Don't you ever know how I, just holding 2 marbles in my arm and just, do some simple tricks with my, hand? As Kirishima said, that was the reason why you are always doing that weird, move. I thought that you are only, kinda bored or something like that. As Izuku said, no, it's some sort of a training to keep my fingers ready and strong so I can, move them fast. As Kirishima said, well, that's so manly. Anyway, let's just get into the school before Mr. Aizawa beat us out of UA. As after that, immediately Izuku said, oh, yeah, you're right. As they start walking, or at least running into UA. But while that's happening, behind one of the walls, Bakugo was listening to the conversation. As he was listening from the start. When he saw Atsuhiro, he said, So that asshole is the master of that deku. Hmm, whatever, he looking weird. He's hiding something, I can feel it. That fake smile that he keeping on his face. I know that he's hiding something, and that stupid Deku doesn't even know that. I'm just gonna stay low for now, but if he ever tried to do something weird, I'm gonna kill him. As after that, Baku coming out and go into UA. After that, immediately in the class, Aizawa come into the class and said, well, good morning, class. Today we will gonna do a heroes versus villains test or something like that. But I'm not gonna be the one to train you today, but instead of that, as they start hearing such a loud noise from the hallway, and the door bust open, revealing All Might, as All Might said, hi, I am here, coming through the door like a normal person, as everyone getting excited, and immediately Mina said, wow, All Might will be our teacher? That's so cool, as after that, everyone getting excited, but suddenly, they hear another sound, and Izuku looking on the ground as he just see some sort of a marble start rolling on the ground, and Izuku said, oh shit, and immediately the marble just explode with the blue smoke all around of it, and from the smoke, a man wearing a yellow jacket and having such a top hat on his head, taking it down and bow in front of the student as he said, hello student. Yeah, I hope that you have a nice day. As after that, everyone said, where the hell did that guy came from, and is he some sort of a hero that I doesn't know about? As after that, Izuku said, sensei. As immediately Uraka looking on Izuku and said, sensei, what are you talking about, Izuku? As after that, Izuku said, I'm gonna explain everything later. As after that, immediately All Might said, well, hello students, I hope that you all have a wonderful day, but now we will gonna do a heroes versus villains fight, and the fights will gonna be like this. You will gonna have two teams, but before I continue anything, how about we get prepared, alright? As after that, All Might pressing on a red button, and the walls open up, revealing a bags with numbers on them, a number for each student. As after that, All Might said, alright, inside these bags you will gonna find your hero outfits. Try them on and meet me at the training area Alpha. As everyone just wearing their outfits, and after that, in the end, they wait inside the fake city Alpha or something like that, as everyone just waiting. And Kirishima coming closer into Atsuhiro as he said, Mr. Atsuhiro, as Atsuhiro said, yes, Kirishima? What are you doing here? As after that, Atsuhiro said, oh, yeah, I was talking with All Might about some things, and he invited me to see, how Izuku is doing in the school. As after that, Kirishima said, oh, so that explains everything. And was that one of your magic tricks? As after that, Atsuhiro said, you mean the smoke thing? Yeah, it's one of my magic tricks. Does Izuku know it? Know how to do it? As after that, Atsuhiro said, well, he know how to do it, but he's not using it yet. As after that, Kirishima said, oh, alright. And finally, Kirishima said, by the way, where is Midoriya? As after that, they hear a sound from the shadow saying, I am here. Sorry, I just lost my gun. As after that, immediately Kirishima looking back, seeing Izuku wearing a suit, as he said, yo, Izu bro, you look dope. As Izuku said, thank you, Kirishima. As after that, Oraka looking on Izuku, as Izuku looking at her, and she immediately turned around, as Izuku said, hey Oraka, you seem kinda, your outfit is kinda nice. As Oraka said, you really like it? I feel it's too tight. But for you, you seem kinda handsome. As Izuku said, thank you. As after that, All Might said, well, student, they say that the clothes make the pros, and right now you seems like a true heroes. But now, I need to tell you how this fight will gonna go. Just like I said before, it will be two teams against each other. Each team will gonna be made of two people. A team of a hero and a team of a villain. As the villain's mission is to protect the bomb inside this building, as the hero's mission is to capture the villains using the capturing tape like this, and also maybe capturing the bomb. If the heroes manage to capture both of the villains before the time runs out, they win. If they manage to capture the bomb, they also win. But if they couldn't capture any of the villains or the bomb, they lose. And of course, the villains' mission is to protect the bomb and to defeat the heroes. As after that, All Might continues saying, and now, the fight will be on random because, well, I was going to say because, but how about we leave this to our guest here, Mr. Atsuhiro, as Atsuhiro lifting his hat up and said, thanks, All Might. Now, listen everyone, some of the fights that you see on the street are taken, are being fought outside of a buildings and the street. But think about this. A real mastermind of a villain and a real organization will gonna always have some sort of a secret lair, a secret hideout under the ground, and some sort of a buildings. Taking a fight inside some sort of a building or inside some sort of a abandoned warehouse. And these fights will gonna be much more dangerous because if you use too much of your power, the place might collapse on your head, and you might kill yourself and also some civilians inside the buildings, if there were even any civilians in the building. So, this fight is being made inside this building so you can understand how to fight and to make sure that you will gonna cause at least as amount of damage as possible, so nobody will gonna get hurt. Of the civilians, of course, and also make sure to not destroy the building. As for the random thing, we will gonna choose the student to be randomized because one day you will never gonna know where are you, which situation you will be in, and maybe you will gonna being put in that situation with someone that you know, or maybe a completely different person that you never work with. So you need to learn that sometimes you will not gonna get what you need and you need to work with what you have. And that's why we will gonna do this randomly. As for the first team, it will be, as Atsuhiro taking some papers from a jar in front of him, as he read inside the paper, Izuku Midoriya, and as he taking another one and saying Momo Yaruzu. As for the team B, it will gonna be Katsuki Bakugo, and also as Atsuhiro just looking on the paper and smiling, and after that he said, well, it seemed that it will gonna be Mina Ashido. As after that Mida immediately getting excited and said, wow, I'm gonna be the first one, but am I gonna be with Bakugo? As Bakugo getting excited because he finally getting the chance to attack Izuku. And after that, Momo coming closer into Izuku, and Izuku said, oh, hey Momo, your name is Momo Yaruzu, right? As Momo said, yeah, that's right. I hope that we will gonna work very great in this. Let's work together, alright? As Izuku said, alright. As after that, All Might said, thanks Mr. Atsuhiro. Now, for the rest of the students, come with me into the camera's room. We will gonna watch the fight from there. Mr. Atsuhiro, would you please? As Atsuhiro start walking behind All Might. But after that, Izuku getting hold of his arm, and after that, All Might just looking back, but Atsuhiro telling him to go. He will just gonna talk with Izuku for a little bit. As Izuku whispered into his ear and said, Sensei, why do I feel there is more to this than I could see? As after that, Atsuhiro said, what are you talking about, Midoriya? Just tell me the truth. Did you... alright, I will not have any... I doesn't need to trick you. Yes, let's just say that I moved the papers in the way that I want them to move. And I just kinda took the paper that I want to take. As after that, Izuku said, isn't that cheating? You just put me against Bakugo in the first match just because you wanted that? As after that, Atsuhiro said, well, it's not cheating if no one knows it, know about it, right? As Izuku said, I still think that this is cheating. As after that, Atsuhiro said, oh come on Midoriya, I know that you want to fight Bakugo as much as me. Right, I know that you want to fight him as much as Bakugo want to fight you, right? As Izuku said, alright. As after that, Atsuhiro said, well, try to not... try to show off a little bit, alright? As Izuku said, alright Sensei. And after that, Atsuhiro leaving the place. In the end, Izuku start, walking outside of the building just waiting for of course 5 minutes before they start. Bakugo and Mina has already come inside the building, and of course Izuku and Momo right now outside. Immediately, of course, Momo said, "Well, what will be our plan, Izuku or Midoriya?" As Izuku said, can I know about your quirk?" As Momo said, all right, my quirk is create. I can, create an object from anything, but I need some sort of a, to eat, so I can do that." As after that, Izuku said, "So, can you make anything that you know about?" "Yeah, very much. I can make like a sword, a staff, a shield, anything like that." As Izuku said, "Can you make a smoke bombs?" As after that, immediately, Momo said, "Yeah, I can make them." As Izuku said, "Good. Make them with a blue color if you can possibly do that." As after that, immediately, Momo said, "Why the blue color?" As Izuku said, "Just please do that." As Momo said, alright." And after that, immediately, Momo start making some smoke bombs with the blue color. Of course, the smoke is a blue color, not the bomb itself. As Izuku start opening the bombs, but before the smoke come out, he just turned them into a marbles. So when he gonna throw the marbles, it will gonna immediately, just throw the smoke out. As after that, Izuku said, "Good. Now, let me think a little bit. Bakugo will gonna go after me, that's for sure, because he hate me as fuck. For Mina, though, I think that she will gonna stay close into the bomb." As after that, immediately Momo said, "Are you sure about that?" As Izuku said, "Yeah, I'm sure about that, but I think that both of us should take on Bakugo, because if you took on Mina yourself, she can, basically melt through your defenses, and you will gonna need help for that." As after that, Momo said, alright, Izuku. As after that, Izuku said, "Stay behind of me, and can I turn you into a marble?" As after that, immediately Momo said, what?" As Izuku said, "Don't worry, I can, turn you back into normal human, but it just will be easier for us to walk there, and also I can make a surprise attack." As Momo said, can you please, just tell me exactly what do you mean by that, because I really doesn't understand your plan very much." As Izuku started explaining about his plan from the A to the B. As after that, Momo understanding everything and letting Izuku turning her into a marble. After that, All Might announcing the match and said, "Well, student, 3, 2, 1, go!" As after that, Izuku starts walking inside the building, and while that happening on the other side, Bakugo finally said, "Finally, I'm gonna get to kill that Deku." As of course, Mina said, "Bakugo, shouldn't we, work together?" As Bakugo said, "Fuck, I'm not gonna work with you. I will gonna take that asshole on myself, and I'm gonna beat that villain to the crisp. I'm gonna burn his face and break his left arm bone and kick him in his dick." As after that, Mina said, "You really hate him so much. Why do you hate Midoriya so much?" As after that, Bug said, "I doesn't need to tell you anything, but let me tell you this. Maybe he'll look like a nice person, but he's a fucking villain. And the villains like them doesn't deserve to be in UA." As after that, Mina speaks, under her breath said, "You're saying that he's a villain, but you are acting more like one." As Bug said, "What did you said?" As Mina said, "I didn't say anything, sorry." As Bug said, "Whatever, just stay here and protect the bomb. Understand, Pinky?" As after that, immediately, of course, Mina said, "You know what? Pinky might be a good hero name." As after that, Baku said, "Whatever," as he just left the place. After that, while that's happening, Izuku just walking, and in the end, he starts hearing the sound of the explosions coming in. As Izuku said, "Well, here he coming like a shooting star in the sky. Woo! Alright, it's time to put this plan into work." As after that, Baku finally smashed through the wall and said, "Deku!" As when he looked in front of him, he doesn't see a thing. He only see the ground filled with a lots of blue marbles. As he said, "What the fuck are those?" As after that, Bakugo, trip on one of them and fall on his back. As he said, "Duh, fucking asshole! I bet that fucking Deku throw these on the ground." As after that, immediately, he heard a sound from behind saying, "Hey Bakugo, are you searching for someone?" and after that, immediately Bakugo turning around and throwing an explosion into Izuku. Izuku doesn't try to dodge it, but instead throwing his right arm into Bakugo's right arm, and before Bakugo managed to throw the explosion into its full power, Izuku turning his own, turning Bakugo's explosion into a marble. As after that, Bakugo being shocked, but Izuku getting hold of his right arm, and after that, from behind, suddenly, someone hitting him with, of course, a metal bar on his back, and making him fall on his knees, as he looking back and seeing Momo Yaruzu. After that, immediately, he said, "Fucking bitch!" as he threw up an explosion into the ground, pushing both of them back. Immediately, Izuku turning himself back into a marble to take at least amount of damage, while Momo protect herself using a shield. After that, Izuku decompress himself and taking his gun out, as he spin the wheel, and after that he starts shooting some marbles on Bakugo. Izuku dodging the first marble, but before it's managed to once he dodged the marble, Izuku immediately decompressed it, and suddenly an explosion coming out of the marble by the side of Bakugo's face, as after that pushing him into the wall, as Bakugo said, "These are my explosions, you asshole!" As after that Izuku said, "Yeah, thanks for them, they are really useful." As after that Bakugo starts going on Izuku, but before he managed to run so much, suddenly a giant truck being building in front of his face, as Bakugo just seeing this and said, "What the?" As after that he looking down and seeing the ground filled with marbles still, as he said, "So that's why he put a lot of marbles on the ground." As after that Izuku immediately throwing another marble into the rock, as he just using one of the marbles that having an explosion inside of them, exploding the whole rock in front of Bakugo's face. Bakugo putting both of his arms in front of his face to protect himself, but while that happening behind his back, Momo shooting at him with a laser, or electric gun, so she can shock him. As after that Bakugo starts getting a shock into his body, but immediately taking the wires off of his body so he can stop being shocked. After that he go on Momo and throwing an explosion on her, but she immediately making a shield and protect herself, but not before she being pushed into one of the walls, as Bakugo after that looking back into Izuku and said, "Now I'm gonna," but before he managed to continue, he doesn't see anything, as he said, "Where's that fucking asshole?" As after that suddenly Bakugo, he doesn't see Izuku anywhere, he only see the ground filled with marbles, and when he looked back on Momo, he doesn't see her anywhere, as after that he said, "Come on and fight me like a real man, you asshole!" As after that Izuku finally decompressed himself and said, "Oh, alright, let's fight like a real man's." As after that immediately Bakugo throwing an explosion into Izuku, but Izuku throwing his his own hand in front of him to compress Bakugo's explosion, but Bakugo knew that was gonna happen, so he immediately moved his right arm downwards and throwing the explosion into Izuku's stomach. As after that he pushed Izuku up into the ceiling, and after that he throw another explosion into Izuku, but before he managed to hit Izuku, immediately Izuku compressed himself to dodge this attack, and after that Izuku fall on the ground in his marble shape, and Bakugo throwing an explosion into the ground, throwing all the marbles away from the ground, as he said, "Come on already, stop using the stupid trick." As after that Izuku decompressed himself and said, "Alright, it's time for the final showdown. How about I use my final trick?" As after that Bakugo said, "What are you gonna do, you little abracadabra, you little villain? I'm gonna beat you down and I'm gonna enjoy it." As after that Izuku said, "Alright, show me what you can do." As after that Izuku holding his left arm and said, "It's time to show off a little bit." As he snapped his fingers, and suddenly all the marbles start smoking. Most of the marbles start smoking. Some of them that having smoke starts to smoke. As after that Bakugo said, "What the fuck is this?" As he just seeing a blue smoke coming out of the marbles and said, "Would you stop doing this stupid trick?" And after that Izuku said, "What are you talking about? I'm right here, Bakugo." And after that Bakugo throwing an explosion, but suddenly when the explosion hit Izuku, it doesn't do anything to him, as he said, "What the?" As after that he throw an explosion behind of him, because he heard Izuku's voice again, but again it doesn't seem to affect Izuku, as he said, "What the hell?" As after that, he hears a sound from Izuku behind his back again, and Izuku said, "Come on, Bakugo, I thought that you can, kill me." As after that, Bakugo threw in another explosion, and while that happened in the camera's room, they are able to see Izuku, to see Bakugo and Izuku, but they really doesn't see Izuku very much. They can only see Bakugo, and they see Izuku kinda teleporting around Bakugo. As after that, immediately, yeah, of course, All Might said, what is he doing? As after that, immediately Kirishima said, is he teleporting? As after that, immediately, Uraka said, when did he learn that? I thought that his quirk is only compressing. And after that, Kirishima looking on, of course, Atsuhiro and said, hey, Mr. Atsuhiro, what is that? As he just looking on Atsuhiro and seeing him smiling, as Kirishima said in his mind, he's smiling. Does he know what Izuku is doing right now? As after that, immediately Baku started getting tired and said, stop doing this stupid trick on me! You know what? I had enough! As after that, Baku holding his gauntlet, and after that, he said, where are you? Just show yourself! And after that, All Might here, talking in the mic and said, Bakugo, don't do that, you were gonna kill him! As Baku said, not if he dodges or turn himself into a stupid marble, he will gonna be fine! As after that, Izuku, Bakugo seeing Izuku in front of him again, as Izuku said, come on, throw your explosion, I'm sure that you will gonna be able to kill me, as Izuku just holding his arms out and said, come on, shoot it! As Bakugo said, finally! As All Might said, no! But immediately Bakugo has already thrown his explosion into Izuku, and after that the explosion smashed directly into Izuku's face, exploding the floor and making such a giant hole inside the wall. As after that the whole blue smoke goes away with the wind, and Bakugo starts taking a deep breath as he said, where's that asshole? And after that he feels someone touching him on his shoulder from behind, as he hears a sound saying, well, maybe you should have aimed for me next time. Try to make sure to not follow your eyes and the next time, alright, Bakugo? As after that, Bakugo eyes whiting and said, how the? And immediately, Bakugo just being turned into a marble, and All Might in the camera's room is just shocked. What the fuck has happened there? As Kirishima said, what the fuck has happened there? As after that, Uraka said, I thought that he died. As after that, All Might said, the Bakugo is out of the match. Bakugo is out of the match. Alright, just that. As after that, immediately, Kirishima looking back on Atsuhiro as he said, Mr. Atsuhiro, could you please explain? And after that, Atsuhiro said, explain what? As after that, Kirishima said, that weird trick that Izuku used. How was he? As after that, Atsuhiro said, oh, it was such a simple thing. You will gonna learn about it in the future. But for now, there is one rule of being a magician. One main rule that should never be broken. And it is that the magician never reveals his secrets. As after that, Kirishima said, of course, that's a rule. And after that, immediately, Izuku taking another marble out of his pockets and he, decompressed it into Momo. As Momo said, did you manage to capture Bakugo? As Izuku said, yeah, I have him right here. As after that, Momo said, alright, thank you. As she started breathing heavily and Izuku said, you used your quirk a lot. You should go and rest. I'm gonna take care of Mina. Alright, as after that, Momo said, alright, I'm gonna wait here, but make sure to not take all the fun for yourself. As Izuku said, I'm gonna try. And after that, Momo just leaning against the wall and start eating some things. And while that happening, Izuku finally got into the last floor as he just see Mina standing in front of the bomb, as she said, well, I heard such a loud explosion, so you must captured Bakugo. As after that, Izuku said, yep, I have him right here. As Mina said, well, don't think that I will be as much as idiot as Bakugo. As after that, she starts, throwing some acid into Izuku. Izuku immediately started dodging this and taking one of his marbles and turning it into a giant rock in front of him. As after that, Mina starts throwing her acid on the rock, but Izuku immediately moving on in such a fast speed. so much that Mina can't even see him, as she see him on her right side, and he just standing there. As Mina immediately throwing her acid on Izuku, but immediately Izuku dodging so fast and coming closer into Mina and throwing a punch into her stomach, and immediately turning her into a marble too. As she just, as her marble shape, she starts rolling on the ground, and in the end, Izuku just touching the bomb. After that, All Might said, well, the hero team wins. And after that, Izuku just taken the marble of Mina and decompress her. She and also Bakugo. And after that, Bakugo said, what the? As after that, he see Izuku in front of him holding the bomb, as he said, you supposed to be dead. As after that, Izuku said, well, you can say that I'm not. And I didn't even had more than such a scratch on my body. Maybe I should train more, Bakugo. As after that, Bakugo said, you fucking asshole, I'm gonna get you next time. What was that stupid trick that you did? As after that, Izuku said, sorry, Bakugo, but the magician never revealed his secrets. And after that, Izuku just started walking out of the room, and Mina said, he defeated me so quickly. He's so talented. As after that, Bug getting angry and looking down, as he said, how the hell that idiot managed to defeat me? What did he do? He was seeming like teleporting, but I'm gonna find out about your secret in the future. But for now, I need to train. As after that, Bug coming out of there, of course, the building, and everyone just going into the camera's room. All Might finally, welcoming everyone, as he said, well, student, can I know who do you think is the VIP of the match? As everyone said on on one voice that it's Izuku. As after that, All Might said, well, that's right, it's Midoriya. Which is not really, I mean, he might be the VIP of the match, but he also did some mistakes. One, like making Bakugo unable, wasting a lot of time with Bakugo, that's first. And second, he also didn't capture Bakugo so soon. He was able to stop Bakugo from fighting from a long time, but he just decided to keep fighting, which is, in a real fight, you should not do that, Midoriya. As after that, Izuku said, alright, All Might. And after that, All Might said, continue, but Midoriya has done a lot of great things, like knowing how his partner quirk and use it to its full potential by creating smoke bombs and other objects to help him in the fight. And also him and Miss Momo here had such a great teamwork. Izuku was turning her into a marble and throwing her on Bakugo to throw an attack and things like that. And also the tactic that Izuku used by covering the whole ground with marbles, so he technically put Bakugo in a situation where either way, Izuku is the one that controlling the things in that situation. And that's why Midoriya is the VIP of the match. But Midoriya, I have one question. As Izuku said, alright, ask me. As All Might said, what was that move? When you fight against Bakugo, all of us thought that you are dead. As after that, Izuku said, the magician never revealed his secrets, All Might. I thought that Sensei has already told you that. And after that, Atsuhiro said, well, I already told them, but they were so insistent to know. But I didn't tell them. As after that, Izuku said, alright. And after that, All Might said, well, I can understand this. Anyway, everyone, let's continue our matches. And in the end, everyone continued their matches. And after that, Izuku and Atsuhiro start walking outside of UA, but immediately Kirishima and the rest of Class 1A except Bakugo start coming closer to them, as Kirishima said, yo, easy bro, can you show us more of your tricks? As after that, Izuku said, what? As Mina said, yeah, show us more of your tricks. I really want to know what kind of tricks did you use in our fight. I want to know exactly how can you do these things. And after that, immediately Furupi said, yep, we all agreed to watch you do some magic tricks. Aren't you supposed to be some sort of a magician, Midoriya? As after that, Izuku said, as after that, Atsuhiro putting his hand on Izuku's shoulder and said, sure, me and Izuku will gonna do a magic trick, a magic show for all of you, for free. Come with us. And after that, everyone getting excited, but Bakugo still hiding behind one of the walls. And after that, he just looking on Izuku and Atsuhiro, as he said, those two hiding something, and I'm gonna find out what is it. Maybe I should not go with them. They will gonna think that I'm a weakling. I need to leave, but that Atsuhiro asshole, he having something that he hiding, and I'm gonna know what is it. Soon enough, I will gonna show everyone your secret, Deku. I'm gonna show them that you are nothing but a dirty villain. And after that, Bakugo leaving UA. And this one gonna leave it off, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment down below. Tell me what you think about this part, and what do you think will gonna happen in the next part. Well, I have nothing more to say than Savage was here.